morning. So I'm going to try to get another outdoor video out for you, and I am trying to acclimate myself to teaching outside. If you have taken classes with me at the Y, I don't have a start date yet, but it looks like I may actually be teaching a live class Thursday mornings at 10:15. And again, I don't have a start date yet, but if you are a Y member, that class is a possibility. As you know, we're all just trying to work out the whole getting back to normal thing. So feel free to email me or message me through email or YouTube or Facebook or anywhere you want to try to get in touch with me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. And that even goes for non-Y members too. I miss you all very much. So let me know how you're doing. Anyway, we'll get started. So starting out, coming into mountain pose, and we're going to begin with a big breath in as we lift and stretch our toes. Deep, deep breath. Feel like you're breathing right down the whole length of your spine. Exhale, sweep your arms down. Take a nice deep breath into standing back bend and stretch through your front lines. Big in breath, holding it in for a moment. And come back center, release it. Again, breathe in, lift and spread your toes. Interlace your fingers. Extend the index finger up. Exhale to a side stretch. Let's really open up the middle, through the middle part of the body. Again, that space that gets so congested and stuck when we're sitting around a lot. Coming back up, we'll take another back bend. And exhale and sweep the arms down. And here we're going to come onto hands and knees. We'll be doing some cat-cow. I know some of you like to use chairs, and if you do, you're familiar with my famous invisible chair. Place your palms on the seat of the chair, and you'll do your cat-cow here, or you could even put your hands on the back of your chair if that's more comfortable. When we go into downward dog using the chair, just take a step back, get a little angle on your legs, press your heels down, and gently press the torso down. You want to feel the stretch in the back of your legs. So coming down onto the hands and knees, begin to breathe in, belly down, head up. And then exhale, tuck the tail, pull belly to spine. Draw the shoulder blades away from each other. And then again, breathing in. And breathing out. Tuck the tail under, shoulder blades draw away. We press into the back of the heart. And breathe in. And breathe out. Do another one of those. Deep breath in. Breathing out as we come up into cat, Breathing in cow. And then again, push the breath from cat. We'll come back into a neutral spine. Now, we're going to start to move the spine around here. So feeling almost like you are trying to get your back, your sides, and your belly to kind of go around the inside of a hula hoop or a barrel. So just rolling around, and you can let your hips get a little involved here. You really just want to move the spine all around, and then we'll change direction. And then come back into neutral, and we'll take a stretch back into child's pose. And then we'll come back into table, and we're going to draw the right knee right toward the chin, toward the center of your chest. Pull belly to spine. And then extend back up, lifting into tiger pose. And then this time, we need to draw the right knee toward the right elbow. And then extend back into tiger. And right knee toward the left elbow. And we'll come back into tiger. And then as best you can, we're going to move the right foot between the hands. Keep your right hand and foot together on the floor. Follow your left thumb, come to a twist. goes the train. And then we'll release. And we'll take a twist other side. And we'll come back into table, take a stretch back, child's pose. Moving back into table, we'll bring the left knee in, right into the center of the chest, toward the chin. Extend for tiger. And then we'll bring the left knee toward the left elbow and extend tiger. Left knee toward the right elbow. Extend tiger. And then we'll bring the left foot between the hands. Keep the left hand and foot together, and we're going to open into a twist following the right thumb. Release. And we'll twist other side. And release. We'll come back into table. Take a stretch back. Child's pose. And options, stay in child's pose, come to table, or flow into down dog. Coming up into downward dog, we're gonna pedal the feet a few times, bending one knee and pressing the opposite heel down. And then lift way up on the balls of your feet. Push the earth away with your hands. Ease both of your heels toward the floor or toward the grass. And then bend the knees, come to table, stretch back for child's pose. Again, options here. Feel free to rest in child's pose, come to table. You could do a few more of those spinal circles if you like here, or flow with me into downward dog. And then we're just gonna shift the weight around here. So pressing into the right hand, and then the right foot, and then the left foot, and then the left hand. So you're just kind of making kind of a circular motion with your downward dog. You're just shifting the weight. Right hand, right foot, left foot, left hand. And we'll change direction. Come back to center, lift way up on the balls of the feet. Ease your heels down. And then bend the knees, table, and we'll come all the way back to child's pose. And then we'll move through table. I'm going to bring ourselves to standing. You can come through table, or you might like to come through a down dog and step your feet forward, rising up, and exhaling to your heart. We'll step into mountain, taking in a big breath here. Exhale, sweep your arms down. Take a nice deep breath to standing back bend. Stretch through your front lines. And then we're going to open up and follow the heart toward a forward bend. Now, if you're very flexible here, feel free to go all the way in. Otherwise, I suggest that you come about a fourth of the way. Press the tops of your thigh bones back so you're feeling a nice long line from the crown right down to the tailbone. And if this is a good stretch for you, stay right here. You want a little more, try the half position with your spine parallel to the floor. Those of you that are more open through the backs of the legs can continue to go deeper. Just keep in mind that your focus area is heels to sit bones. We don't want any strain on the back here. We're releasing the long muscles and nerves that run through the backs of the legs. And now soften your knees. Take a slow roll. Come all the way up in a big deep breath in, lifting and stretching your toes. Exhale and sweep the arms down. You're going to go into a few cycles of rejuvenation flow, And you can feel free to be seated in a chair and follow with the arm movements. So you're going to breathe in as we sweep up. We're going to stretch and reach for forward bend. Breathe in, sweep your wings open. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, push into the floor, come all the way up. And exhale the length of your spine. Deep breath in. Stretch and reach for your forward bend, wherever it is. If it's moving in a fraction of an inch, that's where it is. There's never any force. We don't want to be forceful or aggressive with our practice. Just let yourself come into a nice, smooth flow. Feel yourself moving with your breath as you breathe in, breathing out. Inhalation, opening those big wings as you lift, a little past halfway. Exhale as you fold, and then bend the knees and we come all the way up. Exhaling and breathing in. And out. And in. And out. Bend the knees, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Stepping out into a wide stance. We're going to angle the toes out. Knees follow the lines of the toes, sinking into a squat here. So again, if you're using your chair, you can have your chair in front of you, both hands on the chair. Otherwise, just let yourself settle into your feet. If you're outside, kind of feel around. It's a little different when we're outside in the grass. It's not like being on a smooth floor. So let yourself get steady. If you're feeling good about it, take the arms up, come into goddess, pressing the elbows back, drawing the pelvic floor up, drawing up through the belly. If your balance is feeling really good, lift up your toes, balance on the contact points of your feet. Pelvis is just sinking down as far as it goes. It goes where it goes. There's no force. And then push into your feet to come up. We're going to turn the toes to face in. So when we were in the goddess, we were getting an external rotation up in the heads of the thigh bones, the femur bones. And now as we turn the toes in, we're going to feel those bones spin internally. And we're going to take a nice big breath, take it nice and long, and we're going to go no deeper than halfway. So flat backing as far as it goes. If it doesn't go halfway, it's fine. Just don't go any further here. To come out of this, press the outside edges of your feet down, bend your knees a little bit, lift with a flat back. I'm going to turn toes out, sink to goddess. Really nice, you're opening up through the hips. Draw up through the pelvic floor, nice and strong, pelvic floor, strong legs. Press into your feet to come out, turn toes in. Same thing, flat back, so we're kind of spinning the head of the femur bone. Well, not spinning it, but we're working it around in the hip socket. And this is really good for helping to clear stuck energy from the hips, as well as encouraging blood flow, fresh blood flow and energy into a space in the body that can get very tight, very congested. You can hold a lot of tension in the hips. And again, we're going to press outside edges of the feet down, soft knees, lift with a flat back. We're going to leave what's going to be your back foot turned in, spin the front out, and open up. We're going to be going toward a triangle pose. And again, we're always moving toward the pose. Don't force yourself into it. So if this is where you want to stay right here. Stretch fingertip to fingertip across the heart with strong legs. Moving more into triangle, slide your hips toward your back legs. So you want to try to get a nice open line on the underwaist here. And then we're going to reach toward our triangle. You know, some of you might touch your fingertip to your kneecap, and this is perfectly fine. You can be holding onto the chair with one hand. Some of you will ease down a little bit more. Again, you're going to go where you go. No force. So this is a much better version of triangle than something that looks like this, where you're trying to get your hand to the floor, but you've totally lost the integrity of the pose. So try to keep your nice long lines, body stays all in one plane. Balance is good. You can gaze up toward the sky. Balance a little shaky, look straight ahead or toward the floor. Now root into your feet strongly. Find your feet, push into your feet as you reach into your arm to lift. And to change the foot position. So what was the front spins in to become the back. The back becomes the front. We open out, take a nice big stretch. Again, staying here, really stretching across the heart, nothing wrong with this. Slide the hip toward the back leg if that feels right for you. And then we begin to move toward triangle. So again, it might be here. You might be leaning in a fraction of an inch. So we're going where we go. There's no force. Make sure you're keeping a nice even breath. And now, as you root into your feet, reach up. And we'll come back to center. We're going to turn the feet facing forward. We'll take a heel toe walk in or a hop into mountain, and then breathe in to lift and stretch your toes. Exhale to sweep down. Breathe deeply to back bend. Open your arms and follow your heart forward. Reverse out all the way up. Hands come to heart. We'll step or hop wide. Spin the back foot in, front foot out. And this time, imagining we have headlights on our hip points. So you know, kind of bring them around. So they want to try to look out over your front leg. Coming into a warrior one. So we're going to go for a knee over ankle. Again, you could hold on to your chair here and just take one arm up. If you're not using a chair, we'll bring them both up. Nice and solid into the feet. Hearts lifted. We're moving our shoulder blades down into the low back ribs. In Warrior One, we want to feel that lift in the heart. So by moving the shoulder blades down into the low back ribs, lengthening the tailbone down toward the floor, we're giving the heart a nice lift. And then we're going to sweep open into Warrior Two. And as we come into Warrior Two, we're going to bring the hip points to look out toward the front. And we're feeling our wingspan. Reaching fingertip to fingertip across the heart, gazing out over the middle finger of your hand that's extended over the front leg. We'll drop the back arm, lift into a reverse. Come back into Warrior Two. And then we're going to turn from the waist, rise into one. Bring hands to hearts. And we'll change sides. So turning. Get steady. Again, hold on to the chair if you need it. Inhalation is going to take you up to one. Open out for two. Reach across the heart. Feel your wingspan here, like your arms begin at the center of the chest, radiating out from the heart. Reverse warrior. And back into two. Turning from the waist, and we'll breathe in one. Bring hands to heart. Feet face forward. Nice big breath in. Stretch up out of your hips. Exhale, sweep down. And you can heel toe your feet in or hop to mountain. Take a big breath in. Lift and stretch your toes. Exhale, sweep your arms down. Breathe into back bend. Open up, follow your heart. Reversing out to come up. Hands to heart. Releasing into mountain. Feel yourself really rooting down through your feet now. Mountain is actually an active pose. It might look like you're not doing anything, but you are. You want to feel the contact points of your feet, and as those contact points of your feet are pressing toward the earth, you're drawing energy up through your legs. Tailbone is lengthening down. choosing to stay right here in mountain, or shifting to one side for tree. And you can take your foot anywhere along the supporting leg. So it can be along the shin, well, not anywhere. It can be along the shin or along the thigh bone. You just don't want it pushing on the inside of your knee. Thumbs can rest on the sternum, or you can take them overhead. We'll release our tree. Come back to our mountain. Take a nice big centering breath. Lift and stretch your toes. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Give yourself a moment here to find your center. Let's come back to the strength and the stability of your mountain. And if you feel ready, we'll shift for tree on the other side. It's going to open up the hip, and you might even keep your big toe on the floor. Just like this, you're in the shape of the pose. We work with energy lines in yoga, so even if you're just beginning the shape of the pose, you begin to benefit from it. And again, can be along the shin or going over the knee. As we spread our roots down through the foot of the supporting leg, relaxing the breath. Just feeling the subtle movements of your tree, body maintaining its balance. Breathe. Shoulder blades moving down, fingertips extending. Releasing our trees and coming back to the stillness of our mountain with a big breath in. Lift, spread your toes wide. Exhale, sweep your arms down. Take a big deep breath. Come to standing back bend. Open the arms, follow the heart, forward bend. Reversing out all the way up. Hands to heart, stepping out wide. Optional pose here of a standing wide angle forward bend. Again, you can have your hands on the chair as you just lean into the pose. And otherwise, moving toward the pose, we're going to lengthen the spine and make sure you're releasing. We're hinging from the hips here. You don't want to hunch and come down this way, coming into your low back. You're going to stay nice and long, heart leads the way. So we might go to the half position, and this might be perfect. Some of you might get your hands to the floor. Some of you may be inspired to go deeper here. If your body's open to it, let your hands line up with your feet. Release from the hips, crown to the floor, or the ground. And then lifting to the half position, we'll heel toe the feet into a little crouch, a little bent-legged forward bend. And now, if you're flexible through the back of your legs, you can keep your hands beside your feet. And everyone else, just put your hands on your thighs. Straighten your legs. If you moved your hands to your thighs, you'll come into about a half forward bend. If you kept your hands beside your feet, you'll be in the full pose. And then we're going to soften the knees, roll our way all the way up, taking a big, victorious breath. Exhale the arms down, breathe in, back bend. Open the arms, forward bend. Reverse out all the way up. Hands to the heart. I hope you enjoyed the video this morning. You know, I did. I love being able to do yoga outside. And I am trying to acclimate myself so I can kind of build up to teaching in the heat. Especially those of you from the Y know that Monday night class got pretty chilly. But anyway, hopefully I'll get to see some of you again in the not too distant future. And everyone else, just know that I miss you, and do feel free to contact me if you do have any questions about keeping your practice going or anything. I just like to know that everybody's okay out there. So be well, be safe. It looks like we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.